All right. Hello, everybody. It's MK. I'm coming to you from my classroom here in Florida. And I got a call this afternoon, kind of a reminder call from a customer of mine saying, Melissa, you were going to send me a layout for my quilt. I am really lucky with my customers that they many times they know they want me to do some sort of custom or semi-custom quilting, but they don't know or I don't know exactly what I want to do. So they just leave it with me. And then I just think about it. Well, I kind of was busy with Easter and whatnot. So I was really glad that she reached back out to me so that I'm like, oh, yes, yes. And then I thought, well, since I'm working on Eleanor's quilt, I might as well just show you, whoever would like to watch, that this is really how I do it. Okay, so I posted a picture of the quilt, but let me just pull up that quilt again. Okay, so this is a beautiful hand embroidered quilt by my dear friend Eleanor. She loves to do hand embroidery. She loves to do hand quilting, but this was a little bit bigger than she wanted to tackle to do hand quilting. So when she dropped it off, we talked about the fact that this was embroidery. She knows that I'm not really a gifted free motion quilter, but we also talked about the fact that these blocks were too big to leave unquilted. And even if we wanted to do some quilting like around the embroidery, even that is not a good option. So what we talked about was the fact that if I used a very fine thread and just quilted over the embroidery, that it would be just fine. All right, so let me just hold on for 1 second if you want to snap a picture of that or just kind of commit it to memory. Um, that's what I'm working on. I'll leave the picture up for 1 second so that I can read to you just a little bit of the dimensions. And this is just a quilt that she created, so there's no real pattern to protect here. I will find out from Eleanor, however, what the embroidery designs were, where she got those. Okay, so the blocks are 9.3/4 inches square, roughly. Okay. The black sashes around the blocks are 1 inch, and not all of them are 100% 1 inch on all sides. I think maybe her blocks ended up to be a little bit, off in the sizes of each block. So I think she did the black sashing to kind of bring everything into a common denominator, if you will. But roughly the black sash is 1 inch. And then the cornerstones and the strip coin sashes are 4 inches. Okay, so that's what I'm looking for or looking at. Now, the very first thing that I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and make my layout based on blocks that are 10 inches. Okay, 10 inches is more of an even um, digit for me to work with and a really easy do it in your head kind of math to work with. And because I'm going to do some sort of simple design over the embroidery, it really doesn't matter if I create that at 9.75 or 10. It's going to be close enough. Okay. So that's the very first thing that I am thinking in my head. All right. I'm going to go ahead and take this down, this picture, and we're going to go back to my Pro Stitcher. Okay, so here is how I start. I usually start with Pro Stitcher, building a line drawing. Okay, now of course I could do this in Designer, but I'm still very much a Pro Stitcher heavy girl for doing these layouts, and this is really pretty simple. Now the other thing that I'm looking at is that it is a coin or a strip piece sashing. I don't need to build all of those pieces of that sashing. It's just a sashing. Okay. I'm going to be quilting some design over all of that. So there's no need for me to build a line drawing with all of that, all those lines in the sashing. Okay. So that's what I'm going to do to start with. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open a square. And I have one readily available to me at all times in a folder that I call teaching folders. All right, if you're a member here on the university site, well, you are because you're watching right now. My simple shapes directory is in the university in several places. So you can go and find it. And it's basically exactly what it says, simple shapes. There's a square in there, there's a triangle, there's a circle, there's a few other very, very simple shapes, nothing proprietary about them. So you can just go and get those shapes and just save them in a place that's easily accessible to you.